18th, and it's been happening. And also, we had a Melukat ritual at Kura Kura Beach. That is what's been happening, which was attended by the coordinating Minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan. The ceremony was also attended by the President of the World Water Council, Loic Fauchon, and other delegates of the event. This evening, the program continues with a welcoming dinner for heads of state and delegates at Garuda Wisnu Kencana, which will be welcomed by President Joko Widodo. And President Joko Widodo has left Jakarta earlier today from Halim Perdanakusuma, so we'll be expecting a lot of guests for tonight's gala dinner as well.
That's right. And to find out various things related to the welcoming dinner, joining us in the studio now, we have Chef Degan Septoaji, a professional chef who has long been involved in various state events, especially gala dinners. Also joining us, we have Professor Aryawan Gunadi, an expert in business law and international trade of Tarumanegara University, who will discuss with us about the economics and investment opportunities, especially in relation with Indonesia, as we are the hosts of the World Water Forum.
Now, other than that, we are going to know various updates on the World Water Forum activities through the reports from our colleagues in Bali. And from the studio with me, Uli Herdi.
And with me, Siska Becker. Let's start our special report on the 10th World Water Forum Gala Dinner.
Now, Siska Becker, I believe tonight is going to be an exciting evening since we have two of our favorite guests.
Yes.
Professor, good to see you again.
Yes,
welcome back. And Chef, good to see you this evening. And Chef Degan also did the ASEAN last year on September.
That's true.
So that should be exciting so we can dig in and know more about the food at the gala dinner this evening, Siska Becker.
That's true. And in fact, the last time we saw Chef Degan right here on TV, our studio, he just concluded his duty as one of the culinary experts and executive chef for the First Lady's Luncheon that took place last year. So you have a lot of knowing and understanding of what actually goes on behind the scene at this sort of gala dinners. Now, in the front, we see majestic, we see poise, but we can only guess behind the scene, it must be like pure chaos, right, Chef?
Surely a hot kitchen.
It's very hot. It's very hot. And now I think just before the event starts, it's crunch time now.
Crunch time.
Yeah, everybody is double checking, 3 times checking that the numbers are right, that everything that is prepared will reach the guests. Special requests that they have, you know, like dietary restriction and all this are in place. Who is bringing it to the table? All these things are very, very important at this time of stage.
So, Chef Degan, walk us the timeline where it all started and you know how it usually goes at this kind of event.
Usually, those events are announced already a long time before, like a year before.
A year before.
Yeah, but before that, I mean, later, like the chefs, especially in terms of culinary, we would know like 4 months before, right? And 3 months is where we start to work. Like 4 months, you will be told to do a certain menu. And by 3 months before, you have to submit the menu, your proposal on menu, right? And then you will have also double challenges because you will be given the dietary restriction of all the participants, right? And you have to adjust the menu again, right? And purchasing the items, that's the easiest thing, you know. But then, like 1 month before, food tasting starts, right? And that is basically where everything becomes very crucial because a lot of people have a lot of comments, right? But then decision making is always last minute, right? So it's crunch time for the chefs and then for the service staff as well, because you need to also work out the flow, how to bring the food in an efficient manner, in a fastest way to the guest without reducing the quality, basically, right? And service staff, how many service people will be there, and who is your contact person. And then you have to get the right people in the right place, and you have to organize your utensils, your kitchen equipments, and the flow has to be right.
Wow.
And today they have, I guess, around 1,800 guests for the welcome event.
That's a lot of people.
And that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you have to divide the kitchens as well, because it cannot come out of just one kitchen, right?
Okay.
So,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of
I
delegating.
imagine the
happening.
logistics must be quite amazing.
It's very
Yeah.
amazing. And what I heard for tonight is they might have 4 buffet lines, because it's a buffet dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a set menu for the VVIPs. But the buffet is crucial because you're catering to more than 1,000 people. And
Okay.
they have divided, I think, into 4 lines. So you have to have
I see.
people in all the places.
To make it more
right?
efficient.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Now, what makes it even more challenging,
Yeah.
not just the amount of the attendees, but there are going to be at least 11 to 15 state leaders
Exactly.
attending. So VVIPs,
Yes.
they present a new set of
So that's
challenges, right?
the V and the VVIPs.
Yeah. So please tell us more based on
Yeah.
your
The
experience.
pressure.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
have a state dinner, especially with VVIPs,
Yeah.
of course there is food safety security involved.
What is food security?
Yeah.
Food security is basically you have to check that all the ingredients that are being used also proper and healthy to be consumed, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
Okay.
it has to be safe
Yeah.
to be consumed. So you have Pas Pampres or the president's guard
In the
they are
kitchen?
in the kitchen, and they're
Oh,
checking
okay.
all
Wow.
the items. I mean, the entire menu that you create, you have to
Okay.
give one sample to them for them to check, right? And
What do you mean by check? Do they have like a set, like
yes.
a mini laboratory?
Oh yeah, they have like a lab, a
wow.
mini
Oh,
lab,
wow.
and
Okay.
they have like doctors basically
Okay.
Okay.
among them.
So like a
Um,
specific team
they're-
designated, dedicated
exactly.
to check
Yes,
the food.
these are
Okay.
like food scientists basically,
And that's
they
for
check all the.
each head of countries, or
No, it's just that's usually if it's happening in Indonesia, it's the responsibility of Indonesia to
I
do
see.
that, right?
Okay.
Okay.
But sometimes other countries they have also their own ones, but because it's here, the ultimate responsibility
Yeah.
will be Indonesia.
Falls on
Indonesia.
Indonesia as the
So
host as well.
whatever happened, even though some head of states they say it's okay,
Yeah.
you don't need to check, but usually what I know, our security guards
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
or the president's guards, they will still check it to have it on file as a record
Right.
Okay.
that everything is
Professor
fine.
Aryawan Gunadi is definitely amused by
Yes.
the conversation.
So I pay attention with Chef
Yeah.
explanations, especially for Pas Pampres.
So this is the
Yeah.
first time that you hear about this as well, Professor.
Yes, yes.
Quite fascinating, right?
Quite fascinating, yeah.
Yeah.
What is
So-
also fascinating is what's happening also, during the World Water Conference, a lot of
Yeah.
people are coming in, and our professor, he's passionate about law and business law.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, what are your expectations of the World Water Forum?
Yes, I think the World Water Forum is one of the largest international gathering,
Yeah.
especially in the world. This is I think this is in Indonesia. It's the first time I think to held this, and Bali as the co-host together with World Water Council to have this kind of international event. So we do hope that. Actually, we have experience in become a president of G20 last time I think it's the same one in GWK Bali. Also, we have experience to have an Asian summit last time, right?
Yeah.
When Indonesia became the chair of ASEAN. So I think this is a good momentum for Indonesia to focusing on, like Pak Joko Widodo, President Joko Widodo said that we have 4 focusing issue.
Yeah.
The first one is water conservation, and the second one is clean water and sanitations. The third one is food and energy security, like Chef Degan said. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have to pay attention with all the food security and everything, all of the member states of this event. And the fourth one is the mitigation of natural disasters. So I think there will be 4 of this focusing issue of this event.
Right.
Okay.
So, Siska Becker, water and food. Those
Yes.
are the
That's
two
the
most important thing in the world.
Of
you know?
course, yeah.
Very
And in
important.
regard with the gala dinner itself, of course, not just to share knowledge and
You're right.
practices
Right.
on
Yeah.
how to tackle crises and challenges on water-related issues, but also the networking and the opportunities for
Indeed.
investment
Yeah.
is going to be another highlight for this forum. We're going to talk a lot about investment
Yes.
opportunities with Prof. Aryawan.
Yes.
But before that,
speaking about networking,
Yeah.
Our guy on the island is busy networking also. We have
Yes.
Sesko Satrio, who's now in Bali to give us
in
the
Bali.
latest updates. Go ahead, Sesko.
Well, thank you, Louisa and Siska, and for all of you, good evening and welcome to our 10th World Water Forum special report segment from Nusa Dua Bali, Indonesia, where a momentous event is underway. Water, the very essence of life, yet a resource facing ever-growing challenges. That's why tonight, on the eve of the World Water Forum, leaders, experts, and passionate advocates from all corners of the globe gather for a special occasion, the welcoming dinner of the 10th World Water Forum. This is not just a celebration, it's a call to action here in Bali. Amidst the rich cultural tapestry of Indonesia, a global conversation begins. A conversation about securing sustainable water future for all. But before the forum officially kicks off, tonight is an opportunity to connect. Delegates can savor the diverse flavor of Indonesia, a subtle reminder of the interconnectedness of water and life itself. Because water is not just a resource, but a symbol of hope and collaboration. Earlier this morning, there was also a press statement from the Minister of Communication and Information, Budi Ari Setiadi, and the Director General of Multilateral Cooperation, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Tri Tharyat, which we will inform you later on. The World Water Forum will welcome a number of world leaders. Public Works and Public Housing Minister Basuki Hadimulyono has said that 8 head of state will join the 10th World Water Forum that will be held in Bali from May 18th to 25th, 2024. Meanwhile, as seen yesterday, the head of state have arrived at Igusti Ngurah Rai International Airport to attend the event.
Tajikistan Prime Minister Khoir Rasul Zoda arrived at Igusti Ngurah Rai Airport in Bali on Saturday, May 18, 2024, at approximately 5:20 p.m. Central Indonesian Time to attend the 10th World Water Forum on May 18th. Earlier, around 8:25 a.m., both former Hungarian President János Áder and Papua New Guinea Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso arrived for the same purpose. Upon arrival, the 3 guests of state were given official welcomes by the honor guard of cordon troops of the Presidential Security Detail, comprising the most distinguished soldiers of the Indonesian Army. Accompanied by top officials from the Ministry of Transportation, the 3 were greeted by a performance of Balinese dance Sekar Jagat. Sekar Jagat dance serves an opening or welcoming performance at a formal event. The dance belongs to the Bali Balihan dance group, which means non-sacred dance that functions as entertainment. The dance symbolizes the delight of extending a warm welcome to the guests. At approximately 6:25 p.m., Sri Lanka President Ranil Wickremesinghe is planned to arrive at Igusti Ngurah Rai Airport. Fiji President Queen Williame Maivalili Katonivere was scheduled to arrive in Bali on Saturday at 8:50 p.m. The 10th World Water Forum will focus on 4 areas: water conservation, clean water and sanitation, food and energy security, and mitigation of natural disasters.
And before I continue, I want to revise what I said before. My friends over there in Jakarta is Uli and Siska. I'm sorry, I beg your forgiveness, Uli. Well, Uli and Siska, I would like to continue with the news. Yesterday, the 10th World Water Forum has begun. The Melukat procession, the Balinese water purification ceremony, kicked off the 10th World Water Forum series of events on Saturday, May 18th, 2024, at around 3 p.m. Central Indonesian time at Surf by the Wave Beach, Kura-Kura, Bali area, Denpasar, Indonesia. The delegates were welcomed with the harmony of gamelan gong gede, which Balinese people usually use to accompany sacred dances.
The worship procession of the Melukat procession, a Balinese water purification ceremony, began with sacred dances as an offering medium. These include Topeng Panasar, Sanghyang Jaran, Sanghyang Dedari, Baris Cerkuak, Rejang Putri Maya, and Sidikarya mask dances. On this occasion, acting Bali Governor Sangmade Mahendrajaya delivered introductory remarks as the host of the 10th World Water Forum, followed by remarks by the Coordinating Minister for Maritime and Investment Affairs, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan. After that, the Hindu congregation present at the ceremony conducted a communal prayer led by a priest. The procession concluded with the release of animals into the wild, which included 1,000 hatchlings, 1,000 birds, and 5 turtles. The world's largest water forum, the 10th World Water Forum, will be held on 18th until 25th of May 2024. This meeting focuses on 4 areas: water conservation, clean water and sanitation, food and energy security, as well as mitigation of natural disasters.
Amidst the Balinese water purification ceremony, Coordinating Minister for Maritime and Investment Affairs Luhut Binsar Panjaitan has emphasized that the Segara Kerti or water purification ritual disproved the perception harbored by some foreigners that the Indonesian people do not care about the environment.
To hear remarks from the Coordinating Minister for Maritime Affairs.
Coordinating Minister for
His
Maritime
Excellency
and
Luhut
Investment
Binsar
Affairs
Panjaitan.
Luhut Binsar Panjaitan underlined that the ritual of the Segara Kerti or water purification held ahead of the 10th World Water Forum reflects Indonesia's commitment and is a concrete action for protecting nature, particularly water sources. Through Segara Kerti, the global community can see how the awareness of the environment has been ingrained in the Indonesian culture. It also shows that the Indonesian nation cares about climate change and respects nature and other living creatures. The ritual also shows how the local people, especially those living in Bali, are eager to preserve nature to maintain water quality and condition. The Segara Kerti ritual is carried out to seek blessings from the Almighty for a physically and spiritually clean sea as a source of water. The ceremony on Saturday started at 3 p.m. local time and was led by 4 Hindu priests. The Segara Kerti ritual was followed by Tumpek Uye, a ritual of veneration of animals, as part of which 1,000 hatchlings, 1,000 birds, and 5 turtles were set free. Mantra recitation, collective prayer, and 6 sacred Balinese dances were also performed during the ritual.
to witness the tukik or baby turtle release ceremony.
Around 2,500 delegates of the 10th World Water Forum are taking part in Segara Kerti, a Balinese traditional water purification ritual on Serangan Beach within the Kura Kura Special Economic Zone, Denpasar, Bali Province. Prior to the ritual, the National Committee of the Forum distributed typical Balinese cloth, waist scarf, and udeng, or a male headband, to the participating delegates. Chairman of Parisada Hindu Dharma Indonesia of Bali, Inyoman Kenak, in his remark explained that this ritual is a means to ask for blessings so that the sea, as a water resource, can be clean both in the physical and non-physical terms. Meanwhile, President Commissioner of the Kura Kura Special Economic Zones, Tantowi Yahya, noted that 2,500 delegates had initially registered themselves with the organizers of the ritual that marks the start of the International Triennial Forum. He underlined that the water-related theme of the ritual is relevant to the World Water Forum that places emphasis on the sustainability of water resources.
The highlight of the first day of the 10th World Water Forum is undoubtedly the traditional Balinese water purification ceremony, known as Melukat. This ceremony holds a deep significance for the Balinese people, symbolizing the cleansing of both the body and soul, and reflecting the sacred nature of water in their culture. TVRI World's Shafira Junior has more. Let's take a look.
Reporting from Kura Kura Bali area, where the special event called Segara Kerti was held as the opening for the 10th World Water Forum in Bali. At the 10th World Water Forum in Bali, the central government, along with the Bali provincial government, has prepared the Melukat process as part of the Balinese water purification ceremony as a side event for the 10th World Water Forum 2024. The water purification ceremony was part of the Segara Kerti ceremony titled Bali Nice that took place on Saturday, May 18th at the Kura Kura Bali area, the Economic Special Zone. A total of 1,700 delegates from the 10th World Water Forum have registered and attended the Segara Kerti ceremony. Segara Kerti ritual or worship ceremony aimed at honoring the sea and worshipping the sea god Baruna, and the event accompanied by the Tumpek Iye ritual, a tribute animals, starting at 8 a.m. Bali time. The activities began at 3:30 Bali time, which 3 priests chanted prayers, followed by dance and gamelan performances, speeches from the Bali provincial government and the central committee, worship, and concluded with the release of turtles, birds, and hatchlings on the beach. After that, group prayers were held, led by the priests and all the Hindus present. The procession ends with the release of the animals into the wild. These animals include 1,000 hatchlings, 1,000 birds, and 5 turtles. Water purification ceremony is a special event to welcome the head of state and also the delegates for the 10th World Water Forum. The 10th World Water Forum is a forum where leaders, stakeholders, experts gather to find solutions to tackle the ongoing water problems around the world. We hope that the goals for the 10th World Water Forum will be achieved by all the countries. I'm Safira Junior reporting from the Kura Kura Bali with camera person Iqbal Wahyu for TVRI World.
Public Works and Public Housing Minister Basuki Hadimulyono said that Indonesia, as the host of the 10th World Water Forum this year, aims to push for an agreement on three things during the forum, namely the development of the Center of Excellence on Water and Climate Resilience, or COE, the streamlining of Integrated Water Resources Management, or IWRM, and the declaration of the World Lakes Day.
Public Works and Public Housing Minister Basuki Hadimulyono mentioned that hosting the 10th World Water Forum is a diplomatic victory for Indonesia, and this year's event will be different from its previous editions. The differences of the forum is because its first agenda after the opening ceremony will be a summit. The minister highlighted that the 5 previous WWF editions he attended began with a panel forum after the opening ceremony. Minister Basuki said that there will be 11 heads of state participating in the summit. He added during the summit, President Joko Widodo will listen to the views of all summit members regarding water resources management. Further, one of the outputs of the forum will be a ministerial-level declaration. The minister emphasized that the declaration drafted with the assistance of UNESCO is the result of the hard work carried out by Indonesia's foreign ministry. The ministerial-level declaration will also have a compendium of concrete deliverable in its appendix. Minister Basuki said that Indonesia aims to push for an agreement on 3 things during the forum, namely the development of the Center of Excellence on Water and Climate Resilience, or COE, the streamlining of Integrated Water Resources Management, or IWRM, and the declaration of World Lakes Day. The 10th World Water Forum, theme Water for Shared Prosperity, will cover 4 aspects: water conservation, clean water and sanitation, food and energy security, and mitigation of natural disasters. The International Forum will open on Monday, May 20th, 2024.
Not just for drink, not just for, special in Bali water for...
Director General of Multilateral Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Tri Tariat, said that the 10th World Water Forum in Nusa Dua Bali is a special event in the history of the World Water Forum gatherings.
Director General of Multilateral Cooperation at Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Tri Tariat, said that since the first gathering in Morocco, the 10th World Water Forum in Nusa Dua Bali is the first forum to have a segment for heads of state, namely the high-level meeting. Multilateral Cooperation, Tri Tariat said that there will be a compendium, which is a collection of projects curated by relevant ministries and institutions in Indonesia, referred to as concrete deliverables or tangible results in the form of project activities not only carried out in Indonesia, but also worldwide. Tri added that a total of 108 countries and 30 international organizations confirmed their attendance at the ministerial meeting.
Minister of Communication and Information Budi Aris Setiadi said on May 18th that a total of 220 media outlets and 790 journalists have registered to cover the 10th World Water Forum in Nusa Dua Bali, which will be held from 18th to 25th of May 2024.
Untuk press conference
in a press conference about the preparation for the 10th World Water Forum in Bali on Sunday, Minister of Communication and Informatics Budi Aris Setiadi said, the Media Center of Forum has a capacity of around 800 journalists. He added that as of May 18th, a total of 220 media outlets and 790 journalists have been registered and verified to cover the international event. Minister Budi added the Ministry of Communication and Informatics collaborates with all ministries and institutions in providing all information during the forum. He also said a joint editorial team from all parties produces press releases or news contents, including photos or videos which can be accessed by media and journalists covering the event.
Garuda Wisnu Kencana in Bali is ready to welcome the guests of the 10th World Water Forum at the welcoming dinner held this evening, Sunday, May 19th, 2024.
The Indonesian government has undertaken the renovation of infrastructure and facilities at Garuda Wisnu Kencana, including statue maintenance, cliff cleaning, repainting, and security preparations. The Garuda Wisnu Kencana or GWK venue in Bali is prepared to host the guests of the 10th World Water Forum at the welcoming dinner to be held on Sunday. During his inspection, the Coordinating Minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, ensures the readiness of Garuda Wisnu Kencana. Garuda Wisnu Kencana or GWK has often been used as a venue for international scale forums, including state leaders' dinners like G20 Summit. Minister Luhut hopes the event will be successful to host the 10th World Water Forum guests for welcoming dinner.
To know more about the warmth of the welcoming dinner, we will join Shafira Junior in Garuda Wisnu Kencana area. Hi Shafira, how's the situation at the Garuda Wisnu Kencana?
Hi, Seth. Reporting live from Garuda Wisnu Kencana, the venue for the welcoming dinner for the delegates of the 10th World Water Forum. The situation here, there are security forces securing the area, and set for resuming the series of events for the 10th World Water Forum that began on Saturday, May 18th. Head of state and delegates will be hosted at a welcoming dinner at Garuda Wisnu Kencana today, and the dinner activity starts from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. local time and will be attended by approximately 2,300 participants, including 500 very, very important person attendees and 1,800 other invitees. Several head of state have arrived in Bali, including Prime Minister of Tajikistan, Kohir Rasulzoda, President of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe, and President of Fiji, Ratu Ria Maimaimuni. In addition, Deputy Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, John Rosso, has also arrived in Bali. Former President of Hungary, Janos Ader, is also present as a special invitee. The President of the United Nations General Assembly, Denis Francis, and the President of the World Water Council, Lloyd Cox, have also arrived and are scheduled to attend today's welcoming dinner. The President of the Republic of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, will personally welcome the attending head of state at 7:30 p.m. local time. Among the other guests, there are 17 ministers and minister-level officials, including from Australia, Brunei Darussalam, China, Congo, Egypt, France, Kenya, Palestine, the Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Singapore, Tanzania, Timor-Leste, Tunisia, United Arab Emirates, and Uzbekistan. Delegations from Brazil, the Gambia, Italy, Japan, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Mozambique, the Netherlands, Nigeria, Palau, Qatar, the Solomon Islands, Saint Kitts and Nevis, Slovakia, Thailand, Turkey, and Vanuatu also plan to attend. Representatives from the international organizations such as the European Union, World Bank, Interparliamentary Union, represented by the Indonesian Parliament, and the Secretary General of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, or UNESCAP, will also be in attendance. As host, Indonesia will serve traditional Indonesian cuisine. The welcoming performances that have been prepared will be in line with the theme of the World Water Forum. Let's go.
So how about the security measures there, Shafira? Because we know there will be a lot of head of states and also officials coming to Garuda Wisnu Kencana.
Yes, so since there are a lot of delegates and head of states coming to Garuda Wisnu Kencana, there are security personnel guarding and patrolling around the Garuda Wisnu Kencana area. The security forces implement security activities at locations starting from arrival points, then onto the venue, including the place at this point, Garuda Wisnu Kencana, to ensure the event is running safe and smooth. Sesko.
Well, Shafira, thank you very much for your comprehensive report. Shafira Junior reporting live from the Garuda Wisnu Kencana area. Thank you very much. And now, that's all for now about the 10th World Water Forum segment here live from Nusa Dua, Bali. And to continue to follow the welcoming dinner of the 10th World Water Forum, we'll go back to Jakarta, to the studio with Uli and Siska.
Thank you so much, Sisko Satrio and Shafira Junior. The atmosphere looks electric in the Island of Gods at the moment, and it's exciting. It's dark already. It's 1 hour before Jakarta time, so it's nighttime already there.
Yeah.
And also, the Kura Beach looks quite interesting, Siska Becker.
Yes, it looks really interesting, and thank you so much, Sesko, and the whole team there in Bali for your reporting, and we'll be looking forward, of course, for even more reporting from the team there from Bali, from the 10th
See you
WWF.
guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sesko.
Okay. That looks exciting, Siska Becker.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Kura Beach?
I've never been, but it looks really, really promising as a tourist destination, and I'm glad that it's been given such a highlight in the 10th WWF. So hopefully people can go there to experience it themselves.
And a lot of water-related ceremonies as well, so that's quite exciting.
Yes, I think it's so fitting that Bali is chosen as the host for the 10th WWF because there's a lot of local wisdom from Bali that is water-related, and it's good to highlight that during the conference.
Absolutely. So it's an exciting time for everyone in Indonesia, everybody now in the Island of Gods. And there's a lot of things going on, Professor. Now people are talking about water, and there's also meetings, the sidelines. Elon Musk is landing in the country, for Starlink. So a lot of exciting things are happening. From everything that's been happening leading to today and World Water Forum Gala Dinner, what is the most exciting thing that you personally found for yourself so far, Professor?
Yes, I think this forum brings together, and I think this is, as I mentioned before, this is a good momentum for Indonesia to become a good host like G20 and Asian Summit. And second one, as we see that head of states, head of delegation, even the president of General Assembly of the United Nations and Prime Minister, they came to Indonesia and to visit this World Water Forum. And this is not just only a conference, but this is they will have a good meetings for investment, for politics, for multilateral cooperation, and another kind of projects, especially in water projects. So hopefully there will be a clear investment plan for Indonesia and for other countries to have a cooperation on this, I think. So this is not only just a conference or small event. I think this is a good event and a big event.
Okay, so in the meantime, we're also looking at now what's happening at the location. So we're having a band performance at the moment. That's at GWK, I think.
Yes, it's Garuda Wisnu Kencana. I think they're just preparing.
Getting ready for the gala dinner.
To welcome all the delegates who's coming there.
Speaking about gala dinner, let's talk to Chef Dagan about the food.
Yes. Now, first of all, what we saw with Shafira Junior back then, I think there's some challenges when it comes to conducting a dinner outdoor.
Yes.
You've got wind, you might get rain. Is that a challenge as well for the team behind the scene, for the kitchen?
That's a big challenge. that's the first thing. Once you talk about menu and you talk about the location, that's the first thing you see is what's plan B when it rains.
Okay.
You know? Because you see with so many guests, how do you move the people to another place when it starts to rain in the middle of their dinner, right? And we are in Bali, and maybe they do have some pawang rain stoppers, right? Which is actually what happens, right?
And
believe it or not,
in Indonesia.
but it works. I've experienced it, and I'm sure they have that on site at the moment, right? But you have cases where it starts to rain.
That's true.
And you have to move the people, and then you have to set up a second venue where the people can go, and you have to change the buffet as well. You have to move the entire buffet into an area where it's covered, right? And that's
so there has to be a contingency plan.
Always has to be always
happens.
contingency
If I'm not mistaken, I think
that happened to me one time.
Happened to you one time, right?
Yeah. I did emceeing there, and suddenly it rains, and everybody just moved to another place where it's drier, and we.
But there is an indoor area nearby where.
Well, there's tents.
Oh, okay.
So can you imagine? This place is not a restaurant, chef.
I
mean, restaurant.
Exactly.
You have Kitchens and everything. Everything is. There, so you can operate easier.
That's
Now, this is not a restaurant. This is outdoor. So can you tell us more about the planning, not only for the menu but also for the logistics and the kitchen?
Yeah, because you have to set up kitchens basically. That's the first thing you have to do when you look at the location. You look where is the best place to set up your kitchen, right? And when you talk about setting up a kitchen, you have to set up everything. You have to have running water. You have to have cooling systems for all the food to be stored well, and hot cabinets and all this, right? And then you have to have enough tables to dish things out, right? And it has to be also not too far away where the event is taking place, right? So you can run the food efficiently to the guest, basically. And sometimes you clash with security flow. Because you cannot set it up here because that's not that's not secure enough. You have VIPs passing that way. The kitchen cannot be there. You have to move it somewhere else, right? And so it's continuously finding the right place and
even with meticulous planning. On the D-Day itself.
Exactly.
You have to
exactly.
So in the case of the ASEAN that you did last year, when things like this are happening, usually how many hours before that you guys started to wake up and be on site to everything?
I can tell you, I had to do the lunch that was at 11 o'clock,
right?
And I was at 2:30 in the morning already in the location.
2:30 in the morning in the location. That is amazing.
To start setting up.
Yeah, to be there, start setting up because you like 3-4 hours before, the area has to be sterile. I mean, sterilized.
So you didn't sleep the night before at all?
Not really. Not really. You cannot sleep because your mind is going.
So many things going on.
Yes. And the place has to be sterile. And then 3 hours before the lunch itself, you have a food security process where you have to give all the dishes, each of the dishes you have to give to
So that's on the D-Day, the security, the food security is on the D-Day?
Yes, exactly. Actually, on the D-Day, every time you have a food tasting.
Oh, okay.
So every time you have a food tasting, you have to give sample first to the security, and then you have you do the dishes. If everything is okay, then you dish it out.
Give the green light. Yeah, this is good to go.
In your case, if I'm not mistaken, for the food tasting, you also had the President Joko Widodo and also several ministries doing the food tasting as well.
Exactly. So when we did the food tasting, it was all in one place for all the events. So for all the events, we did the food tasting at the same time. So the president was there, yes, and and we went through like 3 or 4 food tastings at that time until the last one was with the president.
I see. Wow. Okay. One last question, Chef, before I go back to Prof. Aryawan. I want to pick up something that Sesko said earlier about the menu that's going to be served tonight. There's a theme, which is the interconnectedness of water in every aspect of life. Now, that sounds quite ambiguous, and how to visualize it with food. We don't have the information on what the menu is, but based on your experience, how hard it is to connect the big theme. Sometimes it can be quite broad, and then to visualize it through food.
Yes, it is. It is actually sometimes very difficult. The difficulty is mostly about the dietary restriction of some of the participants, right? But the theme itself, water. I mean, cooking has to do a lot with water. You know, I mean, what we do in cooking, it all connects with water actually. So whatever you do, it connects with water, right? And what I heard today, the food is mainly Indonesian because you're in Indonesia.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, you've heard something from the
I've
team.
seen the menu, what they've served for the buffet. It's basically Asian, but very strong into Indonesian. Okay. Right? You do have a couple of Asian delights from other countries, but it is heavily Indonesian food.
Indonesian.
Because you're in Indonesia, and it's the host, right? So it has to be Indonesian, I guess. And we want to bring Indonesian culture abroad as well.
That's true.
We want to show everyone what our country has to offer. You know,
exciting. Like the last G20, if not mistaken, there were news that at the last moment the rice was taken out and they changed it to cassava, if I'm not mistaken. So that was quite, you know,
culinary adventure for everybody involved. All right. Thank you, Chef, for opening up our eyes about what actually goes on behind the scene. That was really fascinating. But I want to go to Prof. Aryawan now. And I'm dying to hear your opinion about a statement made by Chief Investment Minister Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, who announced that at the WWF, they will reveal plans for 120 strategic projects that is aimed at improving water and sanitation with a total investment of 150 trillion rupiah.
Wow.
Now, if that comes into fruition, what impact would it have to Indonesia?
Yes, of course. I think Mr. Panjaitan, as our coordinator minister, have think hard of this because this is a very prestigious event, international event. As soon as possible, the more investment come to Indonesia, I think it's good for Indonesia. And water challenges, especially for water scarcity, water pollution, and natural disaster become a potential issue for Indonesia. That's why I think this WWF, it's a good, moment for Indonesia to get more investment from abroad. And we see that some of head of states has come to Indonesia. And as I mentioned before, that we must make a clear investment plan. Also involve public-private partnership or PPS, NGOs and all the local communities for this, for this project. Because water project is not only for government, but it involves the local community. That's why I like what Bali has shown us. For opening gala dinner for today. I think it's really good and potential for Indonesian market to get more investment in this WWF.
So, Professor, in terms of law and policies, how broad, how far the changes that you feel is going to happen by having this World Water Forum in Bali?
Yes, of course, for the law perspective, as we know that since it has been taking since 1997 in Marrakesh, because it's first, and then every 2 years they open this forum. And we must have a more regulatory framework for this event, and also for clean water and sanitation, especially for this WWF. That's why one of the potential agenda is we'll be discussing for the regulatory what they have to do for clean water, especially because we're facing, like Russia
Scarcity.
and Ukraine war. Like now, United States, they have increasing the tariff from China products and everything, and water issue, natural disaster. That's why all the regulatory framework will be discussing on this event.
Okay. We hear that there's going to be quite a few of parliamentary delegates coming from different countries and also from Indonesia to make sure that the result of this forum will be implemented in government laws. So hopefully that could happen in tangible ways.
You're right.
Now, I hear also, I've read from the press releases from the WWF that there's been quite a few MOU signings between Indonesia and different countries, including UAE and also China, also in water sanitation. Now, it seems like investment in eco-friendly sector is increasing, especially in Indonesia. Now, Professor, maybe you would know more about this. Is it a global trend? And is Indonesia doing enough to harness the demand of eco-friendly investment?
Eco-friendly, it's one of the biggest issue. Like, in Vietnam, now Vietnam car, especially for VIN car, has already, come to Indonesia. That's because of the eco.
Yes.
So the eco-friendly is one of a potential issue that has been discussing. I agree with the agenda that there are some MOU that will be signing on this event. And I think it's not only MOU, but the MOA will be signing because they want to implement, like with China and several countries. That's why United Nations, especially the President of General Assembly, they came to Indonesia to support what kind of potential issue that can be be implemented in this WWF.
Okay. So by the way, we have updates that President Joko Widodo just arrived at the venue at the moment. As we can see, the president is meeting, is there with Mr. Wisnu Tama and also
the Minister for
Sandiaga
Tourism,
Uno.
Creative Economy. It's a big night for all of them, for the whole administration, because this will be the last international event for President Joko Widodo before he leaves office.
So it must be very exciting for everyone.
It's going to be one of his last legacies as leader of Indonesia. So the red carpet is ready.
The red carpet is ready, and soon the gala dinner will begin. And at the moment, as we can see, the event is starting, and the president is giving probably quick briefing to everyone in the area, and it's looking fantastic. Look at the lightings.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
What a great venue.
It's really nice. And from previous experiences, Indonesia has been quite successful in putting up great shows in this sort of events at gala dinners, and it's been the talk of
everyone in the world
about how great Indonesia is.
It was mentioned by the Vice President of the U.S.
Exactly,
last time when she was here. Yes, she's mentioned it, how efficient it was, how good it was. And
Indonesia gives the best parties, man.
at global state leaders events, right?
That's
very important,
And this is in line with your wish, Chef, to bring Indonesia, Indonesian food, Indonesian culture to a more global level.
So
this is a perfect opportunity to once again bring Indonesia.
And the people are, and we are ready actually. We are ready. The people, the chefs, the F&B people, everyone, and even the products that we have,
the
and the
human
cuisine.
Yes,
we are ready. We are ready. And we should show it.
Diplomacy.
Yes, culinary diplomacy.
Exactly.
That's
Very
interesting. Okay, in deep discussion it seems.
In deep discussion,
The president with Mr. Wisnu Tama.
Always Wisnu Tama.
Yeah,
always there.
He's been trusted.
He's been giving great performances for world leaders.
He has experience in handling this.
Exactly. Okay, I believe they're taking pictures now.
So speaking about gala dinners, this is one of the gala dinners this year. And with like what we talked earlier, with more than 1,000 delegates will be there, 1,800?
Yes.
1,800 people, that's a lot of people. So
a lot of food.
A lot of food.
Exactly.
So usually for a venue like what we have this evening, where is the kitchen, chef?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I'm wondering. Those are huge cliffs, you know?
Yes.
Huge cliffs.
And it's not a restaurant.
Huge stage. It's not a restaurant. Like I can't imagine how they manage.
So you have to make like pop-up kitchen.
Yes, you have to make a
pop-up kitchen everywhere.
And sometimes they have different levels, right?
Oh my goodness.
But no, what I heard today is they might have 4 buffet lines. So you have to divide it into 4 lines, and you have to put in all lines. You have to put the right people into it.
Right.
And usually, not far away, they have also the replenishing kitchen. So so you cannot run out of food. It has to obviously replenished, right?
Yes.
And it cannot be too far away. So, but
it has to be close, chef. Right?
It has to be close because you cannot. If it's too far away, and then the food gets
difficult
cold
to
as
serve,
well,
yes.
right? When you bring it over, right? So it has to be quick, and it has to be efficient, and there's a timeline as well. You know, events like this has a timeline, and you have to be ready with the food, and it has to be ready because there are speeches, there are performances, and then there's the time where it's finished. And during that short of time, everything has to be
at
done.
this sort of events, the food and the performances are connected. Like
Exactly.
there's a story.
Exactly.
That is,
Exactly.
You know, weaving through all the evening.
It's like an orchestra in a way.
Luckily today they have a buffet. I heard they have a set menu for the VVIPs, but that's not too many people, right? So luckily it's a buffet because when you have a set menu for 1,000 or 1,800 or even 3,000, that's a challenge because then the food has to go and reach everyone on time.
Yes.
That's
so
more
difficult.
difficult.
On every second. Everything has to be focused.
For the buffet, the food is prepared in advance.
I guess they have some live stations where they're grilling as well, you know. That's the way I looked at the menu. There might have some live stations where they grill things, so the food will be even fresher for the guest, right? But yeah, you have to prep the items, right?
Okay.
So what's interesting, I saw, our chef here is also a YouTuber. So he has a YouTube channel, and in some of the videos you were talking about your experience for the ASEAN last year, and you mentioned about when you can't use instant coconut milk, if I'm not mistaken.
You cannot use any instant product.
So
it has to be all fresh.
No instant, whatever, it's not allowed.
No,
so everything has to be made from scratch.
Exactly.
So that creates a challenge for you as well.
Yes, it's actually not a challenge. I mean, every chef should cook fresh, right?
Right.
It's just adds a little bit more work. That's what it is. But it's okay. Once you know about it, you can prepare yourself, right? So you have all your backup plans and your plan Bs and all this. But once you know, then you know what you have to do.
Okay.
So it's actually not difficult. And it's good. It tastes different.
It tastes better.
You have coconut, fresh pressed coconut milk and a coconut milk that is already in a pack. It's different, you know.
Especially when it comes to Indonesian food that is so rich in flavor. You want to bring out all the best in the produce as well. Now, talking about Indonesian food, you said that you want to bring Indonesian food to the international level. But when we talk about Indonesian food, there's so many varieties and options from different regions. Now, for this kind of dinner events, when you have to decide on a menu, to decide between so many options, how do you usually use it, chef?
I mean, there are certain Indonesian dishes that people know, right? And that people would expect when they come to Indonesia. Like, for example, satay. Everybody, a lot of people know satay in the world. And satay comes from Indonesia.
Everybody loves satay.
And people love it, right? And you expect that when you come into a... And I seen also, I think they had sop buntut or something like this, oxtail soup.
That's nice.
And that's nice. And even in Europe, you have oxtail soup. But the oxtail soup we have in Indonesia, it's different with all the spices that we have inside the soup. It's different. It's almost the same in texture and the way it looks. But when you eat it, it's a different world, right? And that is something people might be excited about, right? And what I experience in my years of cooking is everything that has to do with coconut milk, people love.
Oh.
Oh, really?
The foreigners.
That's the secret weapon.
They find
like
it as exotic, you know. So whenever I did Indonesian promotion, dishes that had coconut milk in it, people
always a
love
favorite.
it. Yes, it's always a favorite.
Okay.
So we can expect to witness probably Elon Musk enjoying, a taste of coconut milk this evening,
Yes,
and
that's true.
getting mind blown with the taste.
That's true. That's true. I think Bapak Luhut Binsar Panjaitan was just there on the screen, also checking all the preparation. For the gala dinner, and also making sure all the delegates and state leaders are comfortable and enjoying the evening, because it's important to have them relax so they can make important decisions when it comes to investing in Indonesia.
And earlier when he was picking up Elon Musk, he looked quite happy and fresh as well, so that's exciting. So Professor, speaking about Starlink in Indonesia, that's one of the sidelines of World Water Forum that people talk about. How do you feel about it? How do you think it would
Yeah.
impact the business and economy in Indonesia? And would it be beneficial for the people? And how about our own home-ground internet providers that's probably now a little bit,
Yes.
skittish about the fact?
What have you heard, Prof?
Yeah. I think the coming of Elon Musk to Indonesia, there will be, great competition among the provider,
Okay.
especially Starlink and all the other providers. But another side, it's good for Indonesia because they're looked by another country. People all the world see Elon Musk coming to Indonesia and
Yeah.
want to invest in Indonesia. It's not easy because
Okay.
last time, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Luhut Panjaitan already come and lobby and doing
So
such
this
kind
is also
of
great
Yes.
from a PR
Yes.
standpoint
Yeah.
as
very
well.
good and open the discussion with
I think it's been
Elon
like 2
Musk.
years ago
Yeah,
when
2 years ago.
when he first
2 years
met
ago.
with Elon
Yeah,
Musk,
to
right?
attract
years
Elon
back.
Musk to
Yeah.
open the investment. Because why? Because in Indonesia, as you know, our villages and some kind of village in
The
rural
remote
areas.
areas.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, we need more provider to support this. So hopefully Starlink will invest more to Indonesia and help the digitalizations in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's one of the sub-themes also for the WWF, the
Yes.
technology innovations
Yes.
in water-related crises. And hopefully this will open up the door for
For
more investments in
that's true.
technology
Because
especially.
water also related with technology innovation. So that's why if we get the support from Starlink and other provider, I think will be good for Indonesia.
So we can look now at the Garuda Wisnu Kencana looking gorgeous, and we're
Yes.
still waiting for the event for the gala dinner to begin soon. So just one last briefings. The guests, some of the guests are coming already, and the red carpet is waiting for the VVIP guests to come in and to be greeted by everyone who's there in the venue.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's same because last time it's one by one head of states they
That's
come.
true.
And
I
Yes.
remember
Yes.
that.
Yes.
People were coming in one by one.
Yes,
Big
they host it,
car,
yeah.
I think this one probably is a little bit more informal. It's more
Yeah, I
casual.
think
a little bit more subdued.
Yeah,
right?
discuss
Not,
first,
not
yeah.
as
Yeah.
formal as the ones we saw before, which is good.
A bit more fun also probably. With a lot of melukat, a lot of
Yes.
ceremonies,
Yeah.
water-related ceremonies followed by all the delegates.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be something really exciting for them as well. I mean, how often you go to a conference and be able
Right.
to go through that kind of ceremony as well.
Yes.
So speaking about what Prof just mentioned, the one car just arrived, no, Prof?
Yes. Oh, yeah, one car.
One car just arrived, and now we're looking forward to witness who is going to appear from the car.
Yes.
And
The airport in Bali has been really busy
Yes.
welcoming delegates
That's
and
true.
state leaders. The Prime Minister of Tajikistan came earlier
Yeah.
this morning. Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea as well.
and they're dividing, I think, the lines in the airport to 3 lines. And so this is the president from WWC, Loic Fauchon,
Oh, okay. He's the man of the hour then.
man of the hour.
He's wearing also traditional.
Yes, also
Yes.
wearing
Teaching
traditional.
batik.
It's a
Batik.
trademark for Indonesia
Yeah.
events. They always try to introduce Indonesian textile. So President Joko Widodo, as the host, welcomes the president of WWC.
Both gentlemen looking dapper.
Yes.
Yeah, so we heard that Loic Fauchon thinks that World Water Forum this year is one of the best ever since the 30 years of the World Water
Oh,
Forum.
wow.
So that's quite exciting.
Quite a compliment.
Yeah, what a compliment from the
Yes.
man himself.
Well, as we know, Indonesia, when we throw an event, we
Yes.
throw an event.
We
Yeah.
throw it.
You can
We
see
do not
that,
go halfway.
Yeah, that's true.
And because, as we know, the WWF happens every 3 years, there's also quite ample time to prepare.
Yeah.
We have 3 years preparation to make
Yeah,
sure that
yeah.
we have everything we need in terms of logistics and also in terms of the sessions that will be held that is in relation with the theme. So hopefully this will be indeed, even after completion of the
Right.
forum, will be one of the best with tangible results
With
to
tangible
follow.
results,
Yeah.
that's it.
First time in Asia.
First
It
time
is
in
first time in
Asia.
Asia.
Indonesia, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So we have another car coming in.
You can see also the The security is also quite extensive.
All right. Also, this is probably also the security from the Mr. Loy Fushong. Okay.
Okay, so let's continue our discussion now. Maybe we can go back to Chef Dagan. You mentioned earlier about how actually water is very important in your field as well.
Yes.
You cannot cook anything, you can't prepare food without water. So
cooking, cleaning.
Yes.
Cleaning is very important for us, right?
Yeah.
We're using water to clean all the food.
Okay.
And then you need sometimes for cooling, you need water, right? And so it is very important. Everything has connection for us culinarians when it comes to water.
Okay. Now, in terms of the landscape of the industry,
yes.
let's just talk about the industry in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Because one of the main topics in this year's WWF is actually access to clean water, water accessibility.
Yeah.
Now, in your perspective, how would this help the whole of Indonesia to elevate the cooking industry to make sure all the areas have this access to clean water?
That would help a lot because, like you know, we need water to cook and we need water to clean, right?
Yes.
And when you don't have that, it's very challenging. You know, yes, you can cook the food, but if it's not clean.
Have you been to like a part of Indonesia where the lack of access to clean water makes it less favorable?
Yes, and we had to also we had to do events in places where there was no water. We had to bring water in because to do that, right?
Okay.
It was not like for a state event, but it was more for like a hotel events, right? But yeah, we had to be really bring the water.
Okay.
So we have another guest coming in.
Yes.
This
okay,
is
the
from
Prime Minister of Papua New
Papua New
Guinea.
Guinea, yeah.
So an important partner to Indonesia. As neighbors, we need to have cooperation. There's been cooperation with Papua New Guinea in the field of education as well.
Yeah.
So this is the meeting between two friends that has been in contact, near contact, in terms of bilateral relations.
So a lot of countries from all over the world is now in Bali. So Chef Dagan, tell us about the countries that you've been within your culinary career so far. I heard that you've been traveling quite a lot.
Yes, I was in Germany. I did my culinary education in Germany. Then I was, of course, in Indonesia. I was in Australia. I was in Thailand, in Laos, in Tibet, in China, in Hainan Island, on the Hainan Island, Sri Lanka, the Maldives, and I cooked a lot in Europe, right?
I heard you
France.
taught also a course in Cordon Bleu.
I did, yeah. I was teaching Indonesian cuisine in Cordon Bleu. I did a couple of sessions there. The school in Paris and the one in London. I did 3 years in a row, both schools.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. And you know, people are very interested in Indonesian cuisine.
Yes, I was just going to ask, how's the response?
It was always full, always packed. Because we not only cook, but we also give people to try. So yeah,
they all want to have a try.
Of course, and yeah, it's interesting, and I was very surprised that even after the sessions, people still asked a lot of questions. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is a delegate from the Netherlands.
From the Netherlands, okay.
So as it is mentioned by Prof. Aryawan earlier, this forum actually accommodates multi-stakeholders.
Yeah.
There's from different parts of the world, from different backgrounds, not just governmental institutions, but also academias, private sectors. Everybody is congregating in Bali right now to talk about water-related issues.
So Chef Dagan, what makes Indonesian food special from your point of view?
The variety of cuisines that we have in Indonesia, actually, that's what makes it very interesting. And you know, remember spices was a thing like many hundred years ago,
Yeah.
right? People died to
get it.
To get it,
Yeah.
right? And I think that is until this day that spices are basically the most important thing in our cuisine and how it is being used.
Yeah.
Yes, our cuisine is made from different cuisines as well, right?
Okay.
We are connected to Chinese cuisine, to
Yes.
Indian cuisine, our own, right? And what is interesting is that now people can travel and they can come to Indonesia and they see the original food that we cook here.
Okay.
When you go to the Netherlands, for example, right? You get Indonesian food, but sometimes it's not the same Indonesian food that you get in Indonesia.
Slightly
right?
different.
It's slightly different, right?
Okay.
So yeah, and people that have the opportunity to come to Indonesia to see it firsthand, right? And taste it, smell it.
Okay.
So this is Dennis Francis from UNGA joining the evening.
So throughout the WWF, all the way until Saturday, I believe there'll be more than 200 sessions of meetings going on to talk about different aspects of water-related issues. And of course, a lot of those sessions will be attended by delegates from the UN to make sure that everything that is discussed here will be implemented throughout the world. So it can have a global impact.
Yes, especially we have many natural disasters among the
Yes.
countries.
Natural disaster mitigation is a very big issue.
Yes, and
right
water
now.
scarcity is one of the important issues that we discuss.
Yes. So not only food security, but water security
Water
is becoming
security.
more prevalent in discussion
you're right.
among state leaders.
Without water, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Like Chef Degan said, right? Foods, technologies,
Yes.
tourism, right? Tourism, it's
okay.
also depending on what, like Indonesia, we have water sports.
Yes.
That needs clean water, beach,
Okay.
and everything. Yes.
So talking about water
Transportations,
security
yes.
and water scarcity,
Yes.
does that have to do with climate change and the
Yes.
effects of climate change?
You're right. You're right. It's connected also with the climate change.
Okay.
As we can see here, another car is coming.
There are
Waiting.
also donor agencies that support financial for this
Yes.
WWF. They are invited.
Okay.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, you need the finance guys
Yes,
to make
yes.
sure all the
You're right.
projects will actually
Absolutely.
happen.
You're right.
Okay, this is from France, looking very fashionable, of course, because it's a delegate from France. They need to portray the true essence of being what a French is,
Person
right?
is.
Yes. That's a very fashionable way of using the selendang, of the Indonesian scarf.
French.
Now, during this forum, of course, this is a forum where people can share ideas and also experiences on how they have tackled water-related issues. And we believe that Indonesia actually has a lot to offer when it comes to experiences
Yes.
in challenges in water issues. Like in Bali itself, like we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of local wisdom that can be shared. For instance, like Subak,
Right.
the water irrigation,
The water
system,
irrigation
that is
system, yeah.
community-based.
So it's just a perfect island to do the
It
water
is.
for.
It is very apt, very fitting. Okay, so back to you, Chef. I mean, I also share your enthusiasm of Indonesian cuisine and how it is now getting more attention, especially maybe with the help of social media.
Yes.
But truth to be told, when we go abroad, we always see a lot of restaurants that serve Thai food, Vietnamese food, Asian food,
Yeah.
but not enough Indonesian food is found on those countries, which means
Yes.
Indonesian food is not very well represented, I would say,
Yes.
in Western countries.
Yes.
Now, what's your perspective on that?
We have to do more to promote it. I think we need to find ways to do it like the Thais do, like the Koreans do.
Okay,
right?
what do they do, Chef?
Like when you look at the Koreans, what is Korea known for? They're known for their music, for the K-pop.
Yes,
They're known for the drakor,
their pop culture
pop culture,
yeah.
the movies, and within the movies there are a
There's
lot
food.
of culinary going on,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And look at the young generation here in Indonesia.
Yeah.
They know a lot about Korean food.
That's
Even
true.
I don't know, you know.
Not as much as they do, right?
Yes, and I'm very surprised. And that happened the last 5 years?
Yeah, that's true.
And that is something maybe we should do as well in our movies, in our, where you incorporate a bit of cuisine
Yeah.
and make it a little bit detailed, right?
yeah.
And also I've seen some Thai movies as well where it's just about the Thai cuisine, and
Yes.
it makes it
that's
very,
true.
very
Combined with entertainment, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and
Right.
interesting, and you want to eat it, you want to
Yes.
try it. You
Right.
know?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to make that
They make
the
it so
same
enticing
effort, yeah.
that you cannot help but you want it all as
Exactly,
well.
exactly.
That's a great observation. When you
Yes.
watch K-drama, there's always a food scene,
Yes.
Now, this is
Okay.
from the UAE
Yes.
delegation joining in for the festivities.
An important partner, the UAE, because right here at the 10th WWF, they'll be signing an MOU on a cooperation to build a facility center, a research center for mangroves.
For mangroves.
Yes.
In Tahura.
Yes, I think
Okay.
so. It's going to be one of the most extensive and sophisticated research facility for mangroves.
So, Chef, you've been traveling all over the world and learning so many different cooking techniques.
Yeah.
Are there any specific Indonesian cooking techniques that you found dear to your heart?
I mean, cooking techniques are everywhere pretty much the same, right? It depends also on what utensil or equipment you're using,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? But the traditional cooking, for example, we wrapping things into banana leaves.
Yes.
We putting
Yes.
things into bamboos.
Okay.
That's something that is always exciting.
Yeah.
And that is something that also flavor-wise, it's very different.
Yeah,
right?
it
When
adds
you
a
do it-
certain depth that is unique.
So you can
Exactly.
use the same techniques for other international dishes as
yes,
well.
you can do that as well.
can do that as
You
well.
can do
Okay,
that as
That's
well.
interesting.
And that's where then all of a sudden fusion cuisine starts, right? You take, for example, what happened now is you take either imported ingredients that are very on high end,
Yeah.
and you use Indonesian spices with it, right?
Okay.
Interesting.
Like I did a couple of food promotions, and then I had to use the ingredients that was there in those countries, right? For example, in France or in the UK,
Yeah.
right? The ingredients were top of the line.
Yes.
And cook with those ingredients, Indonesian food.
Yeah.
Even the food gets even nicer and better,
Wow.
Okay.
So-
Elevated.
It elevates it, because you have great ingredients,
Yeah.
right? So,
Okay, here we have the delegate from Malaysia.
Dato Haji
Fadila.
Fadila. Malaysian food is also very nice and, kind of like Indonesian food, but not really.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah. I like Malaysian food,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say
You
I
like nasi
prefer
lemak,
Indonesian.
right?
Nasi lemak, oh my goodness,
Okay.
Professor, that's the best.
So
And
we
it's
let
hard.
Chef Devgan cook.
I know, my goodness.
He's the expert.
My goodness. And it's hard to get a good nasi lemak in Jakarta,
Is it?
It's
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah,
If you go to Penang or you go to KL, I mean, like, that's easy, but in Jakarta,
Yeah.
It's different.
It's hard to
it's
find.
different.
Yeah, yeah.
You have nasi liwet, but it's different.
It's
Yes,
different.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah. Like
Yeah.
each region has their own twist and,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and way
And
of
it's also
making.
interesting also when the chef explained that like Indonesian food, when you cook it, say in France, because you have probably different kind of vegetables, different qualities, so
Yeah.
that impacts also the, the
flavors,
taste, the
yeah.
flavor of the food, and that's just exciting,
In fact, I had a very funny situation. We were in France. We did this food promotion with the Indonesian embassy, And as a dessert, we did lapis legit.
Lapis
right?
legit, okay.
And the guests were Indonesian guests, like a group of ladies. And I came out after the dinner and I talked to them and she asked me, Chef, what brand lapis legit did you bring along from Indonesia? It was so good. And I said, I didn't bring anything. I said, we made it. I said, how come it's so good? I said, because the milk is very good, the butter is very good, the flours are very good.
The butter.
And the chef is very good.
The butter, I mean like different butter.
Yeah,
You know?
and because Chef Degan made it.
The hand of the chef.
Made all the difference, I'm
It
sure.
makes a difference.
I want to try that lapis legit, Chef. You
Gotta
make
go
me
to France.
curious.
Right. So what's the secret of finding out, you've been cooking many different kind of cuisines and, like different kind of spices. What's the formula of knowing what works and what doesn't work?
You need to understand your ingredients.
Okay.
You need to understand your ingredients. You need to understand your spices, right? And of course, it has to have a lot of heart in it. Right?
Right.
You have to do a lot of passion. But you need to understand those ingredients because a very high-end beef quality is different to the beef that the normal quality beef, right? So you have to know how to use it, right? Not to destroy it. You know?
Yeah. Here we have the former president of Hungary just now walking the red carpet.
Hungarian food. Goulash, is it Hungarian?
Goulash is Hungarian.
Yeah.
Janos Ader.
Yes. I love goulash.
Goulash is really
it's a hearty meal.
It's a very hearty meal.
comfort
It's
food.
compared to our rendang, right?
I think so,
when you look
yeah,
at it, right?
yeah.
That's their rendang actually, right?
A bit different. Well, a lot different.
It's a lot different because the
Yeah.
ingredients are different, right?
Yeah.
Goulash, when you make goulash, it's a combination of beef and onions. Right? It's the same amount of beef and onions, right? And you
but
cook
no
it together.
coconut, right?
No
No
coconut,
coconut, but a lot of paprika. I mean,
you use paprika.
Yeah.
Siska Becker is half German,
Yeah.
so
The Hungarian goulash,
Yeah.
you would put paprika and
Yeah.
the paprika as the powder,
Yes.
and also the paprika as the vegetable. You would put inside.
Sometimes they have
Yeah.
like condiment out of paprika as well.
Yeah.
If you don't get enough of the
Seriously?
paprika,
That
they're
much
crazy about the
paprika?
paprika. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And like different regions have different kinds of goulash. Like there's something that is more
Exactly.
thinner.
Exactly.
And then you have ones that are much thicker.
Exactly.
And each region will be so proud of their goulash.
didn't know
Like
that.
rendang, right?
Yeah, like
rendang.
rendang.
Wow,
Yeah.
Siska Becker is such an expert on goulash.
Yes.
I'm quite surprised
I'm a
to
goulash
find out this new
aficionado.
fact.
And then she eats it with potatoes or with noodles or what,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, and with bread.
Or with rice or
Yeah,
bread,
dip it with
exactly.
With
bread.
noodles, like udon with goulash?
No.
So like noodles on the side,
Right.
like just plain noodles,
All right.
and then you add the goulash on top of it, and then
wow,
eat it together.
I didn't know
It's
that.
actually really
Learn something
delicious.
new every day. Okay.
Yeah, I ate that in Munich. Really delicious.
It's good, yeah.
Okay, another delegates.
From
The
Tajikistan.
Prime Minister of Tajikistan, who just arrived in Bali early this morning, I believe. So this is one of the state leaders who are now in Bali, among
Right.
at least 11 state leaders. Prime.
Khohir Rasul Zoda,
Yes.
Prime Minister of Tajikistan. I've never tried Tajikistan food. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't have the slightest
I haven't
idea
tried it
actually.
either. I mean, but I guess it's a
Tajikistan.
bit like Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
How is the food in Azerbaijan?
A little bit like Turkish. You know, you have a lot of
okay.
bread, you have a lot of pide and all these things, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Skewers. Yeah.
Skewers.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Do you have a favorite food?
I don't.
You don't
Because
use
when you eat a lot of, there's a lot of food everywhere in the world,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
The simplest food can be so nice, right? But it has to be also prepared with
Right.
a lot of
Okay.
love, and you can see when, and you know, sometimes simple food is not simple to prepare.
Yeah, that's
it looks
true.
simple,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's
Actually,
very difficult
yeah.
to make
Yeah.
simple food.
Simple is actually the
simple
hardest
and good.
to
Exactly.
achieve. That's with
Exactly.
everything.
Yes.
It's designed with passion and with cooking as
Exactly.
well,
My
it seems.
goodness.
Exactly.
Okay.
Professor, do you have any favorite food? What's your favorite food
Yeah.
to eat?
I agree. As long as made with love,
Exactly.
I like it.
That's the
It
key.
does make a
Indonesian
difference,
food, it's
yeah?
my
It does, yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
you know.
Asian food.
Yes, yes. Last month
Okay.
I went to Turkish, to
Yeah.
Istanbul.
Yeah.
You know,
How
lots
was
of
it?
breads and
Nice.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Difficult to find Indonesian food there.
I had
You're
good
missing
food.
rice,
Yeah,
like,
we
you
miss
know.
Indonesian food. We miss
Lots of
rice.
Indonesians when we go abroad.
What was your favorite Turkish meal that you had there? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
So
I eat
many,
bread
so
every
many
day.
events
Yeah.
between all the events that you need to attend,
Yeah,
right?
The president of Sri Lanka.
Okay. So another state leader,
I love the batik. Look at that. What
Yes.
a lovely,
vibrant color.
vibrant color. Yeah.
Like it might not look like much, but as we can see, everything's been going on like clockwork.
Yeah.
Like the arrival and then how they immediately usher the state leaders. These are very experienced team they have here.
They've been doing it for a
yeah.
couple of
Yeah, a couple of years
couple of
already.
years
Yeah,
now,
they know
yeah.
the drill,
Yeah.
right?
Now we see all this, right?
Yeah.
But behind the scene now,
Yeah.
the kitchen is
Must
like
be-
going like
They're busy
Try to
with this.
describe
200, 300
Loud and,
is
you know.
now crunch time.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Try
And
to
then-
describe it to us. How's the atmosphere right now in the
this is
kitchen?
now
would you say?
everybody try to keep focus.
Right.
And whoever organized or in charge of it, for example,
Yeah.
I guess now it's Chef Index who is running around and
Right.
checks that everything and
Okay.
every head of the section is in
Yes.
place and have all the items. They look at the time, guys. It's
Yeah.
only another 10 minutes, and then
Okay.
they
Oh
will
my
come and sit
goodness.
down. So
Yeah.
every step will be communicated now through the walkie-talkie, and people
Yeah.
will have to do the things that they
Yes.
need to be.
So
And
people,
the waiting
people-
staff is also
Exactly, and waiting staff as
Right.
well, right?
So people are running on adrenaline.
Very much now.
Very much
now
so,
it's the
right?
time, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Republic of Fiji.
Queen Yu. Ratu Yuliani. Okay. Now, an island country like Fiji surely would have a lot to share at this World Water Forum because I'm sure they are facing a lot of challenges in water access,
Yeah.
in disaster mitigation, in climate change issues.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's a lot to learn from each other,
Absolutely.
Indonesia and Fiji. All right, Chef Degan, we understand that you actually have another engagement to attend to. And before we let you go, maybe
Yeah.
you can give us your closing statements, your hopes and wishes for the 10th World Water Forum and for your colleagues preparing right now.
Yeah, especially
behind the scene.
for the colleagues that
Yeah.
hopefully everything runs very smooth.
Yeah.
And my wish is that everybody will remember what they've eaten, what
Aw.
they've dined,
Okay.
and have this fond memory, and they can go back and say, oh, the cuisine there was excellent. We had a great dinner, we had great entertainment,
Yeah.
and I hope also
Yeah.
in terms of business,
Yes.
It will be.
It will follow up.
It will follow up and
the nice event, the nice
More
dinner.
investment to Indonesia.
Exactly. Let's wish that all goes smooth, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Chef
you.
Degan,
Thank you very much. Thank
for
you very
sharing
much.
with us your insights and expertise.
Yeah.
It's been fascinating to learn
It's
so
been
much from Chef
fascinating,
Degan.
yeah. Stay with us in a moment and we'll
Yes.
let you go soon.
Certainly.
Okay,
This is
Speaker
Puan Maharani,
of the
of course.
House of
Yeah.
Representatives, Puan Maharani, is now
Yeah.
because there's a lot of delegates from the parliament attending. Ada acara di SCBD katanya, Chef. Iya. Ini udah dekat.
Kalau kita berbicara masalah upacara yang ada di Bali, itu adalah sebuah kegiatan bagaimana manusia senantiasa, khususnya umat Hindu, senantiasa dekat bersama Tuhan. Dalam kitab Bhagavad Gita dengan tegas dikatakan, Patram Puspam Palam Toyam Yome Bakti Prayas Jati Tata Ambakti Upahwan Asnami Paretat Mana. Sabda Tuhan, barang siapa yang mempersembahkan setuyuh air, sebiji buah, selai daun, setangkai bunga, jika dilanasi oleh hati yang tulus ikhlas, itu merupakan persembahan yang sangat utama.
Agama Hindu sering disebut agama tirta. Kenapa disebut agama tirta? Karena dalam setiap proses pelaksanaan beragama di agama Hindu tidak terlepas dari penggunaan air. Agama Tirta itu mengajarkan bahwa siklus yang tidak terputus itu hanyalah air. Karena setiap proses upacara di Bali belumlah dianggap lengkap atau sempurna kalau belum mendapatkan tirta.
Balinese community dignify the presence of water sources is not only through ceremonies, but also the sustainable management of water resources for centuries. The awareness of the importance of water for life is what makes Balinese agrarian society highly honor water. It is inherited in a local wisdom system known as subak.
Jadi sampun ya ning gading mina kadi wangi ni penyapa kolwentan mina damas dengan ketung wangi dengan ratus kadi angin mina kadi pinawati.
Subak adalah organisasi tradisional yang dimiliki oleh masyarakat. Dalam hal ini adalah khusus mengatur tentang tata cara irigasi ataupun kegiatan pertanian, khususnya adalah pertanian basah. Dalam subak, kita pada intinya tetap melaksanakan konsep ajaran Trita Karana. Keseimbangan atau harmonisasi antara manusia dengan Tuhan, harmonisasi antara manusia dengan manusia, harmonisasi antara manusia dengan alam, itu adalah bagian integral yang terpenting dalam pelaksanaan kegiatan subak ini. Air itu merupakan hal pokok dalam kehidupan subak itu sendiri. Warga subak itu biasanya tetap bekerjasama dengan warga subak itu sendiri, termasuk juga dengan pemerintah ataupun pihak-pihak lain itu melaksanakan kegiatan menjaga hulu. Di sana biasanya dilaksanakan penghijauan ataupun juga melarang penebangan kayu-kayu yang ada di sepanjang aliran sungai yang biasanya itu radiusnya ditentukan oleh perarem yang ditentukan oleh subak itu sendiri. Sehingga kalau ada kayu-kayu, terutama kayu-kayu yang bisa menahan air seperti kayu are, kayu lateng, bunut, bingin dan sebagainya, itu memang sama sekali tidak diperbolehkan untuk ditebang yang ada di seputaran bantaran aliran baik itu sungai ataupun kelapa itu sendiri. Nah di hulunya ini biasanya warga subak itu bekerja sama dengan warga-warga yang memiliki lahan perkebunan ataupun mungkin yang lainnya, itu melaksanakan sebuah proses penghijauan.
Trihita Karana. This philosophy is practiced through a well-organized, fair, and balanced water distribution system where no land stands alone, but all rice fields are integrated into one unit.
Sekadi sani sampun kencumpuin dumun, nika sampun munggah menawi sampun ke surat nika indik papahan toyetan sampun sarang sami uning nika boleh suang-suang kerambo pengayah muasta nika atak-tak kentan nika napi wastana nani sampun munggah kentan.
Nah di dalam hubungan kita antar warga subak, kita memiliki yang disebut dengan tek-tek. Nah setiap warga subak itu akan mendapatkan satu tek-tek.
Tek-tek adalah pembagian air menurut bahasa Bali niki berasal dari kata nektek. Nektek ini adalah membuat daripada pembagian saluran air kepada anggota subak dengan pembagian secara merata sesuai dengan jumlah daripada anggota subak itu tersendiri.
Thank you for participating at the 10th World Water Forum, and I hope the spirit of togetherness this evening can lead us to great collaboration to ensure access for clean water and sanitation for everyone. Please enjoy your dinner and the performance from Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome you to experience the delectable flavors of Indonesia. Carefully curated, a variety of authentic dishes awaits you. Please indulge and delight in the flavorful appetizer we share.
So now the dinner is being served, and the head chef for the night is Chef Pindex Tangkar. He's also one of the culinary luminaries of Indonesia.
Yes.
And very famous as well. And as for the G20, if you remember, it was Chef William Wongso.
Yes.
And also, usually who's often involved is Chef Arnold and Chef Degan also.
Chef Degan
yeah.
is also
So now we're
involved.
enjoying the music and the ambience of the gala dinner at the Garuda Wisnu Kencana. It's a beautiful performance,
Yes.
and this is probably the time when people are getting ready to enjoy their food and to talk to one another. And now this is probably high-level lobbying is happening at the moment,
Yes.
which is very good for business and economy, as our professor has been saying. So this is quite exciting. Now, Professor, you've been speaking in several different occasions about your love for the country, how you feel like people should try to create impact, especially for the younger generations, for Indonesia. And now we're having this World Water Forum in Bali, where the world now is being pulled to different directions, you know. So how do you feel that this idealism of caring for the world, caring for Indonesia fare during this time where the world's being pulled to different direction, especially now as we talked earlier about, you know, the war, or so-called, between U.S. and China economically at the moment?
Yeah, first I think this is very good for younger generations to show that you know, Indonesia is a very big country, and lots of people see Indonesia now. You know, 3 international events, G20, Asian, and WWF held in Indonesia. And second one, global trade. Now it's, you know, there will be a war, you know, we call it a war between US and China because of tariff.
It is a trade war, basically.
Trade war. I think, of course, there will be an impact for Indonesia, but I think if you see, like now, Indonesia using all their diplomacy, you know, to promote business, economics, law, and policies, you know, among the world. I think the world will see Indonesia is not, you know, this is not a small country, but this is a very big and potential for the world, I think. And as I mentioned before, this is the first, you know, Asia, right, become the host, co-host of the WWF. Yes.
Now, before we jump into more discussion about economy, can you maybe give us an update about the situation of the world? Where are we right now, economically, in a macroeconomy of the world?
Yes. Now, Indonesia is the process of the accessions of the OECD member organizations for economic cooperation and development. I think in Indonesia, for Indonesia, they have to wait 1 until 2 years to become globally. It's not trapped with a small middle country, but will be more advanced than before. So I think this process is also waited by President Joko Widodo as soon as possible to become a member of OECD. And the second one, the Indonesian economic for law, business law itself, I think now face many challenges, you know, since as you mentioned before, Russia and Ukraine war, US and China for the tariff. Now we are facing of EU deforestation law that our crude palm oil, you know, it's not easy to enter EU market. I don't know, because this is because of our nickel. But we will see. But in economic global economic, Indonesia face lots of challenges. But I think Indonesia will come out of this and will face all this.
It's good, encouraging to hear that we have the potential to go to the forefront.
It's a multipolar world, so you know, a lot of challenges.
Yes, Indonesia, no, like today, they become a very good host. You know, I think show all diplomacy in the world, music, cultural, everything.
Okay, now at this beautiful backdrop, there is a lot of interests going on. Between the need of putting more investment, global investment in Indonesia, but also there is environmental issues at play here. So there's this one conflict of interest between making sure that economically we'll benefit from the World Water Forum, but how to make sure that it is in line with the environmental aspects of it and to make sure that we do it sustainably. What do you think should be done to ensure that?
Yes, the first thing is that developing the infrastructure. Because in my notes that developing infrastructure for water supply and treatment, including desalination plant, wastewater treatment, this is very important for Indonesia. And of course, to ensure a reliable and clean water supply for our tourism activities. Because Indonesia, you know, we have very good tourism objects. And beach and lots of, you know, tourism object in Indonesia. I think this is a very good potential, this moment for WWF to show that the world that infrastructure is very important. So lots of donors, lots of NGOs, lots of local communities, UNGA, and a lot of head of states will support this event, especially for water scarcity.
Now, talking about infrastructure, the Minister for Public Works, Bapak Basuki Hadi Mulyono, have said that as the host of the World Water Forum, they have made sure that almost the entirety of Bali Island has applied eco-friendly sensibilities in all aspects. So we can truly show them, not just by saying, but actually showing and living and doing.
In a way, sort of like a catalyst for Indonesia, because you're sort of like forced to move forward in a faster.
Exactly. So it'll be good for us because then we'll be used to living in an eco-friendly manner. But is it also a good business strategy, Prof, to be like a model of how to live in an eco-friendly way, but still also economically sustainable, if you know what I mean?
It's not easy to live in eco-friendly because, of course, this is one of the issues that we'll be discussing in some session in WWF. Because why? Because
it's a high cost to living sustainably, right?
It's high cost. Also, it's like simple if we are talking about water, but if we're talking about water pollutions, clean energy, eco-friendly and everything. So it's not involve Indonesia only, but it involves among countries around Indonesia. So that's why we need support not only for the local people, but not only for neighbor country, but we need support from bigger like the United Nations and some of the international organizations. So collaboration, partnership between public-private collaboration is very important for Indonesia.
So in the long run, it's beneficial for everyone, and it's probably cheaper in the long run. But the thing is, in the shorter period of time, it might not be great for a business who's trying to survive. So how do you think would be the good solution for that, especially for countries that is not developed yet and probably not have the kind of system or support for small businesses who's trying to go green? That kind of cost.
I think first they have to make clear investment plan. Because why? Create a comprehensive and well-defined plan. It's very important for the future. I mean, water-related project. Example, if we are talking about water. And secondly is that demonstrate a financial viability. It's also important. And the third one that we have discussed, regulatory framework. All the regulation has been to support, must be more flexi, to support the small businesses. Like Indonesia, we have...
Is that a challenge for Indonesia?
This is a challenge for Indonesia.
To be more flexible? And why is that? Is that a cultural thing? Or?
You're right. Because like President Joko Widodo said that don't ever you make regulation, but it's, it's binding by yourself. So you have to be more flexible, but still compliance is very important. That's why we must have a regulation, rules, framework that support the small, medium enterprise, support the local business, We were lucky because now we have omnibus law, right? We have undang-undang harmonisasi for tax law. I think to support and giving more incentive to the UMKM for the small, medium enterprise. I think if all regulation and all the government interests to support all this, I think Indonesia will be greater.
In the context of this flexibility, are there any specific industries who has more edge compared to others to move forward faster?
Yes, especially in textile. This is also important. Yes, textile, agriculture. We are good in crude palm oil, right? CPO. That's why the government trying to support now, but it's difficult to enter into European Union because of the law.
What makes these industries specifically is more, having
flexible.
more edge.
Because why? Because the government put attention on that. The government trying to engage with the market, with the entrepreneur to support all this.
So it's political will, or?
Yes, the first is political will. It's very important because everything we're talking law. Product by politics side. So if the politic wants, we to support, we have to support, then the law itself will be.
And why these industries specifically has more leverage in the political will of the government? What gives?
Yes, because why? Because government now need more incentive from that industry. That's why if they can support, government, it's easy to giving more devisa for the country. Yes, that's why it's collaboration between public-private partnership and the government.
And so, that is interesting that you mentioned about regulations and laws that is needed to make sure that everything that is discussed here at the forum will not just be mere discussions, but actually implemented in tangible ways.
Right.
And that is actually one of the expected outcomes from the 10th World Water Forum, which is to make sure that the measures to be implemented at different political levels, including policy measures and solutions and action plans. Now, maybe you can enlighten us a little bit about the process of making sure that the talking points of the discussions will go through and then be actual policies in their respective countries. How long would that take, and can we actually see the implementation of the discussions in our everyday lives soon? Because the crisis is already here.
Yes, yes.
They say the water scarcity is imminent.
You're right.
It's a matter of when, not even if.
Yes.
So do we have the time to be...
I think one of the agenda of this, WWF is how to mitigate, this kind of risk. There are several conditions that the first I suggested, water conservation measure. To implementing water conservation is very important to promote responsible water. Because as you mentioned that we have a problem in water scarcity, water pollution, natural disaster and everything. So it will be impact for Indonesia. Investment for infrastructure. And the third one, diversification of tourism offerings. Because if there is a problem with the water, problem with our tourism object, our food, our security, and etc. Education that we have discussed and campaign and awareness campaign is very important to launch educations to inform tourists about the importance of the water and responsible tourism practices. The fifth is collaboration and partnership, and the sixth is resilience planning. Developing resilience plans that incorporate water management strategies to prepare and respond water-related disaster. This is very important.
It's really interesting, especially tourism.
To mitigate, right?
To mitigate that, especially in Bali. I mean, there's been a lot of issues, and a lot of people has been talking about, the pressure of tourism on the island.
That's true.
Earlier, Siska, you were speaking about the impact that we were hoping to come out from the World Water Forum, and speaking about impact and regulatory that we just talked earlier. I mean, there's law and there's policies. So, Professor, maybe you can explain to us a little bit. In practice, the difference between law and policies, and relating to World Water Forum, how would that law and policies better come into practice to create an impact on the economy of Indonesia?
Yeah, I think this is like a coin, So because we always say that law is the product of political will. You say everything discussing in our DPR, House of Representatives, it will become a law. So that's why we hopefully that our member, our board member in DPR or House of Representatives can produce a good law for Indonesian and support for Indonesians. So there is no interfere from other country, which is maybe they have more interest in Indonesia, because Indonesia is very large population and very potential. So I think connected with the second issue, what the Indonesian economic and law, I think it's very important because we need more diplomacy, to other countries. This is what we like, this is what we need now. Like today, I think this is a good momentum for Indonesia to have a good diplomacy to other countries. Like EU case, like Indonesia now, we lost in WTO because of nickel, right? Because of nickel. Because the government trying to prevent, trying to do hilirisasi for nickel. And we have our law of this. So I think we need more diplomacy because now we're trying to appeal in the WTO.
Right.
Hopefully we are not lost again.
Even for the nickel case.
Yes.
Okay.
Even
so it's still going on right now.
Yes, still going on. Even President Joko Widodo, maybe we will lost again.
Okay. Well, it's a process.
Yes, it's a process.
That you have to go through.
Can you explain why so much pushback? I mean, we know why, because it's for them it's more economically beneficial to not have that. But maybe you can
because in international trade law, it's not we are not law. We have a principle in international law, like most favored nation. We have to put their goods and services. Same with Indonesian product.
Right.
You cannot prevent the product, from other country. That's why the same. When you have a good nickel, it has to be sent also to other country, which is they need. You cannot make a barrier or non-tariff barrier for this.
Because there is a need, a big need
that's
for
a big
the
need.
good nickel.
This is the international law, trade law regulates that.
Right.
So that's why.
And our law violates that international law.
Yeah, you're right.
Do we?
Yes.
Yeah, because we barred the nickel from going out.
You're right.
And the international law says we cannot do that.
But the international law was created for the benefit of some.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting discussion.
Yes.
Right.
Now, that's nickel, but what about water, Professor?
Yes.
I mean, everybody's saying now it's time for hydro diplomacy.
Hydro diplomacy.
Yeah, to talk about how different countries can benefit of having access to clean water and sanitation. How can we
at least,
be a good model?
From a water point of view, it's something that we have in common.
That's true.
I start to understand what they call it hydro diplomacy since,
yes.
that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
because water is very important for us.
Yeah.
Because it will, decrease tourism revenue if there is a problem, if there is an impact on this. And water scarcity or pollution can lead of degradation of natural attractions such as rivers, lakes, and everything.
Okay.
And it could also increase operational costs because the high price of the hotel, tourism, and restaurants, facilities. It will get impact and loss of job. Degradation of reputation, negative reputations. That's why water is now one of the big issue that we have to pay attention on it.
Okay. Now, one of the other aspects of the WWF is, of course, to increase the level of tourism, not just in Bali, but also throughout Indonesia. But talking about Bali itself, Bali is already a very famous island. It's one of the most sought after travel destinations.
Yes, who's been under a lot of pressure lately from tourism, with the impact on everything, the logistics, the sewage problem, the water problem. So
So, in one hand, we certainly hope that for the benefit of the Balinese people, the local communities, more investments in tourism can come in. But at the same time, that could also be a burden to the environment. And there's an issue we're discussing right now.
You're right.
So how do you think we can balance on making sure?
That's the functions of the government to balance all this. There will be investment from other countries. Like today, it's Elon Musk signing everything, Starlink come to Indonesia. But also, government have to pay attention to the local communities, local people, the development of the Bali also because they have their own culture, traditional that we have to
preserving
pay
the traditions.
Right, preserving the tradition. That's why this is the functions of the government to balance all this, I think.
So from the business law point of view, has the government been making the right moves, so to speak, from your perspective?
I think for now, this is a good, still on the track. Because government trying to put international law as the one of the priority. Of course, national interest or Indonesian interest is the most, I think, the very important one. That's why the government trying to see the trade regulation. They're trying to business law regulation among the world. Except the nickel one, because we have concern on that, because nickel it's very potential for Indonesia.
All right. We are hearing some audio from the event.
From the dinner.
But before we go there, the reason I asked about the balance between tourism investment and see, we have some live feed as well, but let me continue my question here. So there was this viral video that went around.
I was going to talk about it.
It showed this tree in Bali. It was 100 years old.
A tree?
A tree. You know, one of those
like
big trees in
banyan
Bali?
Tree?
I think so.
Okay.
It was really big. It was 100 years old.
Okay.
But it had to be cut down to give space for a development for a new resort.
That's ridiculous.
And it became such a huge discussion because there we have it, the conflict of interest between tourism investment. They need to make space for a new resort, but a 100-year-old tree was cut down because of that. So it became viral, and a lot of people are discussing, is it worth it to sacrifice the environment, to make way for a new resort? But on the other hand, we know when a new resort is open, that's like at least 1,000 new jobs for the people. How do you see it, Prof?
Yes, of course. That's two different interests, right?
Yeah.
Now we have, what is our political will? If the Indonesia put attention of this Indonesian heritage, this has to be protected. I think they have to protect this. I'm not one of the one who I think who think that this is very important to be protected. You know.
Yeah, they could have just built around it, right?
Yes,
there has to be a way to
Of
make
course,
sure.
another side, like you said, it will put more investments. You know, investment, lots of job
opportunities,
lots of people.
Right.
Yeah, this is what government have to think, of course, right? Not only just cut the trees and this is everything goes easy, right? Have to be careful on that.
Yeah, it's
so it's balance, yeah?
It has to be balanced.
Enough is enough sometimes.
Yes.
That's true. So we are still hearing the beautiful sounds of the music. So, Prof. Aryawan, like you know a lot of business communities and you have a lot of experience as well in business events. How important is a nice dinner, a nice event to reaching the goal, your business goals in an event?
Yes. If I go to China, if I go to
Tell
China,
us more about it.
Right? Dinner diplomacy is very important, and the wine is very important.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, they can discuss everything in the table. You can decide everything at the table. So the diplomacy like this is very important.
So this is probably now a lot of decisions are being made on the dinner table as well.
You're
because you know, like we were talking about with Chef Dagan, the food diplomacy is one of the most effective, tool of mankind. So you've been traveling all over the world. You've been having gala dinners everywhere. What do you think is the difference between gala dinners, say, in Indonesia or in different countries that you visited?
I have experience, of course. If I deal with some entrepreneur from Europe or from the United States, sometimes it's not often, but usually they prepare everything on the paper before signing. So all ticks, and I have to be signed everything
during dinner.
Sometimes talking, discussion, and everything finished, and then we sign everything because they prepare the law. Because for them, law is very important. It has to be protected, right?
And everything has to be on paper. It has to be written, right?
Yes, it's quite different with the Asians. Right? Asian, sometimes they need to talk, to discuss everything. Everything's as long we have mutual understanding, everything's clear. So just only 1-2 pages we sign, everything's clear.
That's
Memorandum of understanding.
Memorandum of understanding. It's good. Only 1 page, all good. And it's
as long as we understand each other, what each other needs.
So what are the plus and minuses of these different cultures from your point of view?
Yeah, sometimes if there is a dispute, example in Europe, in the United States, or other countries, it's easy. Why? Because everything's stated on that agreement. Example, I signed with Microsoft to buy some license. They prepare everything in English and Indonesian, so everything's stated there.
Okay.
I think this is good because they put all rights and obligations there.
All right. Fascinating, Prof. Aryawan.
Fascinating.
Before we continue our discussion and before we also go back to the venue, maybe we should deliver some reports.
Let's move on to our next report. Indonesia is the first Southeast Asian country to host the World Water Forum 2024. The International Forum becomes a platform for 172 countries in the world to accelerate efforts to achieve Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, and particularly on the universal access to clean water and sanitation. So here are the list of topics to be discussed in the 10th World Water Forum in Bali. Let's take a look.
Water is a critical resource for all life on Earth, both for humans and nature. We depend on healthy, functioning ecosystems for our water security. They provide us with a plethora of goods, services, and well-being. The degradation of destructions of freshwater ecosystems inevitably leads to acute problems, affecting not only aquatic biodiversity, but also our livelihoods and health. World Water Forum 2024 is a global gathering which focuses on water issues, including water resources management, sustainability, and access to clean water. From the 18th to 25th of May in Bali, various stakeholders will gather to strengthen global cooperation in tackling water challenges and find common solutions for a sustainable future. Taking the theme of Water for Shared Prosperity, the 10th World Water Forum will host 60 organizations and emphasize on the importance of fair access to clean water. Topics to be addressed during the 10th World Water Forum, and which call for increased political attention as we move closer to 2030 to achieve SDG as well as SDGs 2, 14 and 15 are the following. 1. Water quality improvement. Through this, the forum will discuss on reduction and remediation of biological, chemical, plastic and other types of water solution, addressing point and diffuse sources of pollution, etc., for the reduction of environmental pollution and related health issues, including viral epidemics, cholera, and malaria. 2. Conservation and restoration of freshwater ecosystems and biodiversity. These topics will explore the nature-based solutions, protections and restoration of aquatic biodiversity and ecosystems, protection and restoration of aquatic biodiversity and ecosystems including rivers, lakes, and wetlands, respect the right of rivers to survive in nature, develop river ethics, protect rivers' healthy life, and achieve a harmonious coexistence between human and river. 3. Better access to safe drinking water for all. Guaranteed water rights, inclusivity in accessing water for all genders, children, and more vulnerable groups, water services management, and many more, including in fragile context and humanitarian settings. 4. Access to water sanitation and hygiene wash for all as a key human right, including wastewater and solid waste treatment infrastructure development and hygiene services in urban or smaller human dwellings, and off-grid solutions for more remote rural populations or refugee settlements. 5. Integrated water resources management, including integrated river basin management, water, energy, food, health, ecosystems, interlinkages, integrated coastal zone management, source to tea, integrated hydrology, hydrogeology, hydrooceanography, and hydrometeorology, integrated surface and groundwater management, atmospheric water movement, to see global commissions on the economics of water report, and other cross-sectoral or cross-cutting approaches.
The 10th World Water Forum, an international conference on water sector, will be held in Nusa Dua, Bali from May 18th to 25th. The event will discuss various global challenges related to water in search of a collective solution. The importance of water now becomes a growing concern globally amidst various challenges such as climate change, among others. Now let's take a brief look at the importance of water for shared prosperity.
Water is invaluable essence of life. As the substance that constitutes the majority of the Earth's composition and living organisms, water plays an important role in maintaining shared prosperity. Water also plays a crucial role in creating prosperity for living creatures on Earth. First, human health. Water is a major component of the human body. Clean water and good sanitation are keys to preventing diseases and infections, ensuring better health of the society in general. In reality, currently crisis on clean water has become humans' major problem in some countries.
Second, environmental health. Water ecosystems such as river, lakes, and oceans supported the life of various species, providing vital resources for human and other animals. Clean water and healthy water ecosystem are the foundation for rich biodiversity and stable environmental sustainability. Protecting and restoring.
And now let's go back to Bali to see what's going on at the Garuda Wisnu Kencana Cultural Park. Let's take a look.
Heed the warning of the Earth's unrestrained rage. Is it the world we want to live in? Everything must be restored to its balance. It is time to reflect on the challenges we face. Behold the power of water, mighty and pure, healing and easy with its grace. Water, the soul of our home. From the icy peaks where glaciers shine, to the deep oceans where magic and divinity intertwine. Water, the essence of human existence, flowing through the veins, shaping hearts and minds. Let its majesty be treasured, cherished, and protected in every breathtaking odyssey. Water, the source of life.
gentle flow that resonates our love for the emerald green of our home.
Witness the earth's abundance treasure echoes its generosity for human prosperity. Traditional dance from Sumbawa, West Nusa Tenggara. Jalan berlenggak-lenggok mulai langkah dan aku tinggi semampai di antara dedaunan bambu. Ku dengar derai tawamu, wajah berbinar-binar ceria, senyum manis menghiasi senja di antara bunga-bunga rindu. Ku cium harum nafasmu, oh Dara. Pergi melangkah Juwita, kau hatiku resah, oh Dara. Terus melangkah Juwita, menemani tak berdaya. From Sumatera. Oh Dara, kemana kau pergi melangkah Juwita? Tahukah kau hatiku resah, oh Dara. Mengapa kau terus melangkah Juwita? Mengapa ku tak berdaya, oh Dara. Juwita, oh Dara. Juwita.
In every breath, in every beating heart, the allure of water resonates like a music symphony echoing in rivers, lakes, and seas. Let us take stride. Let us soar in strength beneath the open sky. Wash away the fear like the waves upon the shores. Together, entwined in harmony evermore. You have witnessed all the splendor, dear guardian of the earth, in this archipelago where waters flow. Indonesia takes purposeful action as we grow, cultivating sustainable dreams, preserving the vibrant scenes, the blue and green. We ensure that happiness blooms and sustains where shared prosperity reigns.
dadaku tersimpan hatimu yang selalu menghiasi lembayung senjaku. Oh, oh, oh. Dan kini ku
show up. Baby girl, your beauty makes your mind blow up. Your personality is calm and friendly. The kind of girl that I would love to be with me. Once I start, no, I won't fall back. It's my cell phone number, so please call back. Ku rasa ku telah jatuh cinta pada pandangan yang pertama. Sulit bagiku untuk bisa berhenti mengagumi dirinya. Oh Tuhan, tolong diriku untuk membuatnya menjadi milikku. Sayangku, kasih, oh cinta.
ripples in the stream, and the melodious singers, the chanting voice fills the air. And you, the beautiful hearts and minds, may the beauty of this night remains as a memory, pure and true.
Thank you, dear beautiful souls, for gracing us with your presence. May these harmonies resonate deeply within our hearts, inspiring us to continue our endeavor towards a greater future.
Wow, that was amazing. Another great evening at Garuda Wisnu Kencana.
You know, everybody's letting their hair down.
Yes, letting
Some
loose,
letting
having
loose. Some people
fun.
on the stage dancing.
exactly.
Now, that's diplomacy.
It
Love
was an awesome show.
Awesome.
Awesome
Great.
show.
Amazing.
Now,
So,
Prof. Aryawan,
yes.
although we just sang all night long, but we're not going to be here all night long, luckily. So before we let you go, maybe you can give us some closing statement,
your
your hopes and
thoughts.
wishes for the 10th World Water Forum will be officially open tomorrow morning.
Yes,
Go ahead, Prof.
Congratulations for the government. This is a very prestigious event and open people's eyes that this is Indonesia, this is Bali. We can, open this WWF event very great, and hopefully it will be continued for the next. And second one is that in WWF, hopefully they can focus on the 4 sectors that I've already mentioned, like water conservation, food energy, sanitation, and disaster for sure. So hopefully they can get a better conclusion, not only for Indonesian, not only for Asian, but all over the world. And the third one, hopefully there will be a good collaborations between public communities, private partnership, and also local communities, NGOs, local communities, to get better solution for water scarcity and water pollution and also natural disasters. I think congratulations for Indonesia for this.
All right, water for shared prosperity then.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Professor, for sharing your time with us as usual. A pleasure to talk to you.
Very pleasure.
To hear your
Very
expertise
well.
on so many things, and we're looking forward to see you again on the studio. So that was fantastic, Siska Baker. We had a lot of fun this evening watching the gala dinner, and Siska will be going to Bali too soon, I assume?
Yes, on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yes,
So,
I'll be getting the torch from Sesko and Shafira
Satrio, and
and
then-
continue the ongoing coverage by TVRI World for the 10th World Water Forum in
All
Bali.
right. On that note, we'd like to say thank you for watching this special night. This is Uli Herdi.
And I'm Siska Becker. I'll see you tomorrow for the official opening of the 10th World Water Forum right here on TVRI World. Until then, take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.